Hello YouTube B3, we're back another kicking action figure review. We have one that's a couple years old, 2 or 3. It's 2014, this is 27. But yeah, ta-da, you got it. It is the Bandai America 2014 Tailstrike Godzilla. Yeah, so this figure came out when Gareth Edwards' 2014 American Godzilla movie came out, which was a good movie. Lots of people complained it didn't have Godzilla enough in it, but that wasn't the problem. The problem was it didn't have an interesting main character. Ha 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 ha. It was an enjoyable movie, though. Boop. But yeah, there was a lot of merchandise for this movie, a lot of toys. I didn't get all of them. I got most of them. I didn't get all of them, though. This one was a birthday present back in 2016. From Les Parents. My mom found it at Ollie's, and you know, she said it was like $7. I went back there. I almost got one of the other Godzillas they had, but you know, decided against it last second. I don't know why. Should have got it. I mean, it was just a few dollars, but I was unemployed at the time. Now that I think about it, so yeah, it was a good idea for me to not get it. So, boom, Tailstrike Godzilla. This is more of a gimmicky figure for the kids. I mean, if you're a hardcore Godzilla fan and you still want it in your collection, you know, more power to you. Go ahead, get it. The more Godzillas, the better, am I right? But don't expect any, like, super collectible value from this thing. Yeah? Maybe something, like, if you are collecting it, what'll probably happen with this is, I'll either sell it, or one day I'll be unlucky enough to have kids and they can play with it. Honestly, not worried about this as a collectible. Like, if it fell and broke, I don't think I'd shed a tear. I think I'd be like, oh man, that's too bad. But I have like 20 other 2014 Godzillas. I still like this figure. I'm glad it's in my collection. But, I mean, it's not really a collectible, is what I'm saying. It's a toy. But if you want to collect it, you know, screw it, go ahead. But here's the gimmick. It's got this ball on his chest, and it makes his tail whip when you turn the ball. I got my hand on my gat, and I don't give a fuck. I'm filming this the day Pink Season was released, so, yeah. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, that's a fun gimmick for kids. I wouldn't have minded having, I would have loved to have this figure as a kid. It's a very fun figure. The detail on it's actually not bad. He looks cool. Look at all the scales they got sculpted on this fool. Good looking spines. Grrr, look at that face. Grrr, I'm a Godzilla. I'm gonna get you. Paint on the belly and tail. Not a bad looking figure, honestly. Standing wise, he leans back on his tail. You can try to like balance him like that. Doesn't really work though. I haven't been able to balance this figure unless I lean him way far forward like that. Then what's the point? You know what I mean? So yeah, you can get him in that kind of pose, balanced, but otherwise he's going to be leaning back on his tail, or you're going to have to prop something under his tail, which is fine, you know, who cares? So yeah, he has that gimmick in the tail, so you know the tail moves like it does, and then he also has forward and back in the legs and the arms. So that's fun. You know, he actually has about as much articulation as, you know, just your regular soft vinyl type of Godzilla figure, you know? I didn't even mean to pick this figure up, it's just the one next to me. But they go together. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a fun figure. It's got all these screws on one side, but, I mean, it's just a fun toy for the kids, you know? For the kids. I would let my kids watch that Godzilla movie. I mean, aside from monster violence and sci-fi destruction, it was pretty appropriate. Which I think was intentional. I mean, it's always intentional. They always, theaters try to make movies PG-13. PG-13 makes the most money. But I mean, Gareth Edwards made this movie, and he's a hardcore Godzilla fan. He also did Rogue One and Monsters as a director anyways. So yeah, you know, this is just a fun toy. It's a fun toy. I'm going to show you how it stacks up size-wise in comparison with other Godzilla figures, though. I got the tail propped up with a Pokemon tin back there. But, yeah, here he is with some other Godzilla figures. These are more adult collectible type figures. Here on the left, an American one from NECA, Burning Godzilla. And on the right, a Japanese one from Bandai and SH Monster Arts, GMK Godzilla, or Godzilla 2001, if you will. Here's a look at him with some soft vinyl figures. Here on the left, Winged m.u.t.o, or Male m.u.t.o, whichever you want to call it, from Bandai Japan. And then here on the right, from Bandai Creations, Bandai America, we have Space Godzilla. So that's how he compares with these. And lastly, here's Godzilla with some other gimmicky figures that were for the kids when they came out. Here on the left, from 2004, we have a King Kong from the Peter Jackson's King Kong movie. This Kong, like, he came with 2 plastic bats, and he would, like, throw the bats. Like, yeah, you turn him, right, and he holds onto the bats, and then you press this giant mole on his back, and he threw the bats. And this is actually a really dope King Kong figure. I mess around with it a lot. And then, this figure is actually pretty well sought after now because of its size. This is a 6-inch Zilla from the 1998 American Godzilla movie. And not only does it have a decent bit of articulation, but you would put a missile in its mouth and it'd stick out the back there, and you could shoot the missile through by just pushing on it a little. Pretty cool. Man, this figure has seen some playtime, let me fucking tell you. Oh man, he's dirty too. Broken spines, broken tail. He had a good life. This figure's had a good life. It's in retirement now in the collection. But, yeah, so, you know, it looks pretty good with these other gimmicky figures. So what are my final thoughts on the 2014 Tailstrike Godzilla figure? He's a fun little figure. I got mine as a gift, which is the perfect way to get a figure. But, I mean, he's at discount stores and stuff these days. I heard he was $7. I actually saw this figure myself in the store, about $7. Not bad. It was with the other one that's Body Twists, whose name I don't know, Smash Strike, I want to say, perhaps? And also the reissue of, you know, just the regular soft vinyl one from Bandai Creations, also pretty cool. But, yeah, I mean, this is a fun figure. If you want to get a neat Godzilla figure for your kids and you don't want to spend a lot of money on those dumb little bastards, you can... I'm kidding, by the way. I don't mean to insult your kids. But you can get them this. This is fun. You want to introduce them into the world of Godzilla? Show them some classic movies. You know, there are Godzilla movies that are made just for kids. Like a lot of them. A lot of them. So if you want to get your kids into Godzilla, get them some cheap Godzilla toys like this that are big and fun. You know, quote-unquote big. Definitely fun, though. Show them the movies. They'll play along with the movie. That's what I did as a kid. Screw it. I still do it now, fools. I still do it now. But, yeah, you know, this is just a fun figure. It's fun. If you're just like a diehard, oh, I want all these super realistic-looking collectibles, stick with, like, your NECA and your Monster Arts. And just the vinyl figures that have a lot of good detail, but not a lot of articulation. You know what I mean? This is a fun figure for kids, but if you like having this type of thing in your collection too, it's also great for that. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll be seeing you all later.